Today I'm going to be showing you this app, and today we'll be using what we call the frame assist. After helping over 400 guys, I discovered that there was a way of getting people to be able to change their sexless marriage or at least improve their relationship by using a specific way of thinking. Now, in order to do so, sometimes they would have to wait an entire week before we have a conversation. Sometimes we'd have two conversations per week. So, meantime, between the times we have conversations, there'll be all this room for them to really fall astray. So you usually used to have these sort of 3 steps forward, and then by the time I see him again, he's now 10 steps back. And there was this. So this app is designed to keep that momentum going. So in this case, I was speaking to one of the clients, and we started walking through a thing we call frame assist. And what happened here is that he wanted to go to a men's retreat, and she ended up writing him a message saying, "Look, I'm not feeling great about you going to this men's retreat." And then he was like, "What do I say in this case? Because it's really important to me, and I want her to understand that it's important to me. But at the same time, when I speak to her, I wanted to hold my frame," which was quite interesting. So I said, "Okay, look, there's what we call the frame assist, which is here." And what happens when you get into this frame assist is that when somebody writes a message or there is a scenario, you type in the scenario. So in this case, we're going to put the scenario where she's not sure about him going on this weekend. I think in her mind something else is going on. So, but he knows that this is really important to him. There's this feeling that he needs to give in because she's really upset. So in this case, is you type it into this chat here, and you can also say what you want it to be. So you can imagine that if it's different types of chat and you want to be playful and flirty, then you can choose playful and flirty. If you want to be assertive, then you can be assertive or lead. But I like to just say calibrate, just put a mix so that it's all mixed. But sometimes in this case, I would be more leaning towards being assertive, that this is just this is where I'm going to be holding. So type in generate, and it should come up with different answers, so different responses that it comes up with. So it comes up with the assertive one, and it says, "I understand your concern," and there's a reason why we put it this way. We've made it that it validates the feelings, which is really important. And again, naturally, this is how you have these conversations, that before you actually discuss the thing, really try and understand why this has happened. For example, negative emotion that is being shown, and the words that she's saying in order to express those negative emotions are valid to her. Right now, her world is in that frame of mind that this is upsetting me, and it's valid. Now, to you, it might sound ridiculous and it might seem silly, but to her, it's real. So you have to validate it and say, "Look, I understand why this is happening. So I understand your concern." And sometimes here, this is a bit more vague. I would be more specific, as in, "I understand why you are frustrated. I understand why you're feeling insecure," and really call out that emotion. But attending this men's retreat is essential for my personal growth and our relationship. I need you to trust my journey. Now, that's being assertive. And normally, if it was a message, I'll then send this message and just not wait for a response. And I would not put an X or a heart or anything to make it seem, I would put it the way it is. And then there's other response. So if it was a flirty response, then that's what it will come up with. But we can go to a leadership one where it's a bit more different responses with that. So for example, you can see, just if you wait a second, it might take a little bit of some time. So it's come up with this: "I understand your concern, but but prioritizing my growth is essential for both of us. A strong man leads by example." So again, this is just really out there. And it's not the thing where you just copy and paste. You can then make it to go into your language as well, because I've had some guys that go straight and sort of copy and paste and then really not do the work. What I tend to do is that I will copy it, and then I will then make it sound like me, how I would sound. And also, sometimes you can just add a little bit of cushion depending on how your partner is. So sometimes, like for me, my wife would respond good to an assertive one. Sometimes you might not respond really well to an assertive one. It's just one of those things. So you have to be really know the person that your audience. And again, like I said, you have to really make it sound like you. So it's not, because he already knows how you sound. So it's really important that you change these messages. But it gives you less time to think about the response and you responding in a way that you lose your frame, but it sort of helps you keep the frame and stops you to having to get into that nice guy mode, for example, or to be really pandering to that emotion, because again, it's just not that she doesn't want you to grow, she doesn't want you to be successful as a guy. It just means that at this moment in scenario, your growth is just creating this negative emotion, and that's okay. It's just part of the process of growing. So I just want to show you the frame assist, and this is why it's extremely powerful and why every guy needs to have this in their pocket, just so when you get a message and you're not really sure how to respond without you seeming that you've gone weak or you're adjusting to insecurity, all of that is it sort of sets you back in terms of the personal growth or into the relationship growth. So it's really important for you to be able to put the marker there and put it out there. And again, the message, it's not designed to remove her from a negative emotion. It's designed to make things collaborative. And sometimes it's just more about saying, look, the negative emotion is there. We're going to navigate through that negative emotion. We're not going to try and change it. We're going to continue navigating the relationship in that. And there's this belief, well, at least what I've been teaching lately, is that you can still have a connection even though there is a negative emotion. So, and again, it's even more powerful, the connection, because then you are actually working, you're giving her the opportunity to navigate that by yourself and build some confidence, and also build these tools in order to face those negative emotions and be able to navigate them. And by doing so, she's got these what we call coping mechanisms. If you take responsibility for that, she then uses you as a crutch, and then that's destructive of the relationship as well. So with that being said, that's the frame assist, and that's how it works. If you want to check it out, just DM and we'll send you the link so you can check it out. There's a 30-day free trial, and like I said, it's every guy needs this. Thank you very much. See you soon.